explore our creativity to deliver our best in Google Classroom. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
In the last 1.5 years, technology has revolutionized the way we interact, the way we teach and assess the students. From regular classroom teaching to Google Classroom, the change is transformational. Today's teacher needs to be equipped with technology skills to make the lessons engaging and inculcate fun learning among students. Our resource person for today's webinar is known to all of us, Miss Nidhi Bhagra, working in SFS in our maths faculty for the last 16 years. Recently, she underwent training and certification from Google, completing fundamental and advanced levels of training and earned a badge of a Google certified educator. Congratulations, Nidhi ma'am. In today's webinar, we will be learning more about the use of basic Google tools in education. So, over to you, Nidhi ma'am.
Thank you, Monica ma'am. A very good morning, everyone. I heartily welcome you all to this session. First of all, I would like to thank Father Principal and Sister Headmistress for providing me an opportunity to share my knowledge with the SFS family. I would also like to pay tribute to Father Rijo Francis for his ever encouraging words and vision, who always motivated me to become a parcel for sharing knowledge about technology in the field of education. We miss you, Father. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank our coordinators, Monica ma'am, Anne ma'am, and Gina ma'am, for always being so supportive and encouraging. Today, we shall be discussing a set of brilliant tools which will provide and prove to be highly useful to you all in the virtual classroom and remote teaching. While using G Suite, I was intrigued to learn more about them. So I ventured on a quest to educate myself through a certification program by Google. Not only did I brush up on the basic implementation, but also the expansive scope through which these tools are integrated with each other. As teachers, we understand the importance of teaching basic skills like reading, writing, maths. But if we provide students with only the basics, then they will suffer from a huge gap in the knowledge and skills they need to function well in 21st century workplaces. We are at crossroads in education, and seamlessly integrating technology into our curriculum is the only way to ensure we are prepared to adapt to change and continue to provide students with a high quality education. Teaching with technology is the future of education. Technology helps make teaching and learning more meaningful and fun. The effective use of digital learning tools in classroom can increase student engagement, help teachers improve their lesson plans, and facilitate personalized learning. It also helps students build essential 21st century skills. National Education Policy NEP 2020 also acknowledges the invaluable role of technology in facilitating learning and teaching. Over this series of webinars, I wish to bring forth some very important tools for your learning. In today's program, we shall start with the basic tools and how to use them in a practical setting. If you have any questions, please reserve them to the end of the session. I will answer them one by one. So let's get started. As we proceed through this series of webinars, we will be learning about various tools present in G Suite. We are going to focus on Google Docs today, how to create teaching material, worksheet, class test, subject enrichment activities, multiple assessments, exit cards. What is hyperlinking? And I'm going to give you a glimpse of HyperDoc. How to translate the document into another language. What is version history and how to share the document. So I'm going to show you the finished product so you know what to expect during this webinar. I'm going to share my entire screen. Yes, this is the demo document which I have created. I have created this document in the tabular form. I just go through the document very quickly. Question number 1, find the number of zeros in the given polynomial. Here I've inserted the image and the student will be writing the answer over here. Question number 2, identify the noun in the given sentence, write them in the box. Now here I've inserted the image just to make it interesting. Now please watch carefully. As you click on this question, a link appears. As you click on this question, a link appears, and as I click on this link, I'll be soon taken to another web page. And this web page has got all the information about nouns. What is noun, types of noun, examples, everything. So the student will go through the entire information on nouns, read about it. This web page, you have to plan in advance which web page you want to hyperlink in the document. So let's say I have chosen randomly. So let's say this page has got all the information on nouns. Even a video is also there. Child will go through all the information, come back to the document, write the answer. Question number 3, identify the type of cell. So here I've inserted the image of neurons. Now again, as I click on this question, a link appears, and the moment I click on this link, a new web page opens up in the window. And this page, all the information about neuron, the structure of neurons, the key takeaways, everything has been explained well. The child will go through all the information, come back to the document, write the answer in the box. Question number 4, this is something very interesting. Which historical monument is this? Open this link and find out. As I click on open this link and I click on the link, I am taken to another website called Google Earth. It's opening up. Google Earth is a wonderful website and it can bring world inside the classroom. Now please look at this. You can see Eiffel Tower on the screen. This is the 3-dimensional view of the Eiffel Tower. Here, students can literally explore every corner of the globe through Google Earth. Teachers can take students for a virtual tour. Students can create their own virtual tour and share with others. Basically, this website, Google Earth, uses imagery, satellite imagery to grab, spin, tilt, zoom down to any place on the Earth. So it's a wonderful website. There are some tools on the right-hand side. There is one drag and drop tool on the right side in the shape of a man. So you can just drag and drop to look at the street view of Eiffel Tower. So I'm taking you to the street view of Eiffel Tower. So this is the street view of Eiffel Tower, 360-degree view. And the student will explore. Not only that, will also come to know about the places all around. There is a river flowing by. They'll also, so when they look at this Google Earth, they will not only come to know about Eiffel Tower, there's a river Seine. So they'll come to know a lot of things. So best for virtual tours. And it's a myth that Google Earth is only used in geography. It can be used, in maths for measuring distances. There is a measuring tool over here. Measure distance and area on the left-hand side. It can be used in science. You can take your students to National Science Museum. You can anywhere. And then languages, especially in languages like you are teaching a chapter which is related to Germany, you can take them to Germany. You are teaching a chapter, Hindi chapter, which is in, like, the story is in Kolkata. So you can actually take them to the streets of Kolkata. So it's a wonderful website. I highly recommend you please explore it. So the child will go through the information, come back to the document, and write the answer. Question number 5, identify the planet. The image is there. Again, as I click on it, the website, a new web page appears. This web page is given by NASA. So I've linked that page, hyperlinked this page. As you open it, the child will read all the information about the planets, come back to the document, and then write the answer. Question 6. Now watch this also very carefully. Watch this video and describe the life of Abraham Lincoln. As I click on this, watch this video, a YouTube link appears. And the moment I click on this link, I'll be taken to YouTube. And the child can, watch the entire video. The entire life description of Abraham Lincoln is given. We'll go through the video, come back to the document, and write the description over here. It can be in the form of a paragraph. Languages, especially for languages, if you want them to give a description or something, they can write. So this is the demo document which I have created. I would also like to show you this document in Hindi. I translated this document into Hindi and 99% it is correct. दिए गए वाक्य में संज्ञा को पहचानिए, सेल की प्रकार की पहचान करें, ये कौन सा ऐतिहासिक स्मारक है. I think 99.99% it's correct when I translated this document. इस वीडियो को देखें और Abraham Lincoln, so for Hindi teachers, language teachers, it's very, very helpful. Now, let us learn how to create this kind of a document. Now, how to start with a Google Doc? There are many ways. First option, go to these 9 dots on the right side. We call it Google App Grid. We also call it Waffle. So as I click on this Waffle, Google App Grid, various Google apps are there. One option is go to Drive. I'll go to Drive, click on the Drive. One second. I hope it's clear. Yes, go to the Drive, click on New, and click on Google Docs. So you'll be taken to a new document from here. You can start creating the document. This is one option. Second, again go to Google App Grid. Again, various Google apps you can see over here. Directly from here, over here, Google Docs. So you can directly from this Google App Grid, you can go to Google Docs, and then here, if I click over here, start a new document, the plus sign, so you can start a new document. Your recent documents will also show here. The blank document, if you want to start, you can start from here. Now, third option, I think that is the best option if you want to create an assignment, you want to create some study material for the students, go to the classroom. Let's say I want to give them study material or to assign an assignment in this particular class. So I'll go to that class, go to classwork, go to create and assignment. A blank assignment opens up. Now here on this assignment, you see 2 icons, add. If I click on this add, this we have been using already. If I want to attach any file from Google Drive, I want to attach any link, any file from the system if I want to attach, or directly if I want to attach a YouTube video within the classroom, you can attach from here. This we have been using. Now please look at the tool next to it, create. I hope it's visible. Yes, create tool. As I click on this create, various Google apps you see over here. Docs, slides, sheets, drawings, forms. So I'll click on docs from here. So inside the classroom, I'm going to create a doc. As I click on docs, I'll be taken to a new document. Here I am. This is a blank document. Let us start creating the worksheet. I'm just giving a name. Let's say worksheet. You can create a test, study material, anything. So worksheet, I'll just make it bold, increase the size, and let's do the center alignment from here. So this is the center alignment. As I told you, I always prefer to create such kind of documents in tabular form. It looks neat, presentable. So I am going to insert the table. Okay. So let's, one thing before I insert the table, I want to tell you here, since you have given the name of the document worksheet, now look at the top left corner. It's written untitled document. As you click on it, it will automatically take the name worksheet. Now, let us insert a table here. Go to the menu bar, top left, there is an option insert. Here there is an option insert. As I click on insert, second option is table. And as you go to table where a grid appears, you see over here, grid appears. So depending upon the number of questions, so let's say I am choosing a grid of 2 by 5. Okay. You can even 2 by 5 is as in 2 columns, 5 rows. So as I can also increase the thickness of the table. There is an option border width. There is an option here on the right corner, border width. So I can increase the thickness. Let's say this, I can increase it even more. Yeah, it looks good. So this is the table. Table is ready. Let's start creating the questions. Question number 1, find the number of zeros in the given polynomial. So I want to insert the image also here. Let us insert the image of polynomial. Now, how to insert an image? Again, 2 options. Go to insert on the top left. Go to insert option. Here, as you click on insert, there is an option image. You can upload it from the computer if it's already there in your computer. You can even search from the web. Directly from Google, you can search over here. It's in the Drive, Google Photos by URL or camera. Second option. There is a hidden tool on the bottom right corner. There is a hidden tool on the bottom right corner with a plus sign explore. It's written explore over here. As I click on this tool, explore, within the document, you can do Google search, the web search. So I just type polynomial graph. Within the document, I'll go to images. So let's say this image I want to insert. Okay, this is the image I want to insert. So I'll just click on the image. It's written insert. So here the image has been inserted. With the question, you can even resize the image. You can even resize the image. So I resize the image over here. This is my first question. Question number 2. Identify the noun in the given sentence. My favorite meal is spaghetti with sauce. Now the child has to identify the noun. Now I'll go to Google search. Look for a web page where the entire information on nouns is explained. So I'll search for noun. So this web page, you can search according to your own subject, what information you want to give your students. Let's say I'm just randomly opening that first website. So this is the definition of a noun, types of nouns, everything is explained. Now, how do I hyperlink this website within the document? That's called hyperlinking. When you are linking a website within a document, we call it hyperlinking. So how do I do that? Please watch carefully. Select the link. Just click on that link. Right click. Copy. Copy that link. Come back to the document, select the question, right click. There is an option link over here. Please see, there is an option link. As I click on the link, it says paste the link. I'll paste that link which I copied from that website, and it says apply. So I have applied. Now this question is hyperlinked. As I click on this question, you can see the web page appears. To make it interesting, I am going to upload the image of spaghetti with sauce using the same explore tool within the document on the right side, spaghetti. So let's upload the image also. Let's say this one. Click on insert. Here at the top, it's written insert. So the image has been inserted, and question number 2 is done. Question number 3. Identify the type of cell. So let's say I want to ask them about neuron. So I'll just go to the explore tool, search for the image of neuron. So I'm just randomly choosing any image over here. Let's insert this image. The image has been inserted. Now again, I want to hyperlink to another website. So I'll go to Google search, structure of neuron. I'll just search. So I'm just going to, let's say, this website, neurons. And this is a website where it is explained well. Now again, I'm going to hyperlink this web page. Please watch carefully again. Click on the link, right click and copy. Okay, copy the link. Come back to the document, click on the question, select that question, right click, go to the option link over here, link, and paste that link. Apply. So there's an icon here, it says apply. So it is hyperlinked now. What happens is when you upload an image, the link description also appears. The link description of that image appears. You can also remove it. There is an icon on the right side. It says remove link. I only want the image. I don't want the link description of the image. So the image has been inserted over here. Question number 4. Which monument is this? Just a second. We have to make sure that while we are typing the question, the image is inserted in the right place. Okay. So I'll just moving on to question number 4. Which monument is this? Open this link and find out. Now, I'll go to Google search. Search for Google Earth. Google Earth. The very first website, Google Earth, and just click on Google Earth. And on the left side, it says Launch Earth. The moment this web page will appear, and here it's written Launch Earth on the left-hand side. So you will be taken to Google Earth web page. So this is the web page of Google Earth. On the left side, there are few icons. There's an icon search bar. You can search to any place on the globe over here. So I am, let's say, going to Eiffel Tower. So let's say how it will take us to Eiffel Tower. Now look at this. So this is how we go for virtual tours, using that search bar. Now this is the document, this is the page which I want to hyperlink within my document. So how do we do that? Go to the link, click on the link, right click, copy. Come back to the document, select open this link. You have to select open this link, right click. There is an option link over here. Click on the link and it says paste the link. You have copied from that website. Now you're pasting that link over here, apply. So this is hyperlinked to this web page, to this document. That web page, Google Earth, is hyperlinked within the document. Last question, question number 5. Watch this video and describe the life of Abraham Lincoln. We'll go to YouTube, find out a good video. Life of Abraham Lincoln. So this is the, let's say I want to attach, let's say this one, this video. So I'll just turn it on, click on the link, copy that link, go back to my document, select watch this video, right click, go to link option. Here it says paste the link, paste it, apply. So now this is hyperlinked. I'm also going to attach the image of Abraham Lincoln. So the students they can also look at the image. Let's say this image I want to insert within the document. Done. So I can resize the image. Now this is the document which is ready. Now there are two options. You want them to, where you have to guide the student where to write the answer. They can write the answer straight away over here. Or the second option is, what I prefer, just go to insert. Go to the option insert, then table, and just click on one box. Just click on one box. So this box will appear and students can write the answer over here. And just to highlight it, I can even go to the bucket tool from the top. You see over here, there's a bucket tool on the right side. I can even highlight it with the yellow color. And also, just to make it even more presentable, there is a website, Emojipedia, emojipedia.com. So I'll go to that website. And I'll search for a pencil emoji. Pencil. The very first one is the emoji. Here it says copy and paste this emoji. So I'm going to copy from here. Copy and paste this emoji. I've copied. I'm going back to my document and going to paste this emoji over here. So now the students are very, very clear that they are supposed to write down the answer in this box. We'll go to the next question. Same, insert, table, just one box. Now you can just copy paste by Control C, copy, Control V, paste. Okay, go to the next question. Insert, table, Control V. Insert, table, one box, only click on one box and then use Control V. Control V is the shortcut for paste. Okay. Insert, table, only one box, Control V. Now this document is ready. To enhance the beauty of the document, I can even give it a background color. So to give a background color, go to File on the top left, File. As I click on the file, I will see an option, page setup. Page setup. Second last option, page setup. Okay. As I click on page setup, it asks me whether you want to apply to the selected content or whole document. So you have to apply to the whole document. Page color. There's an option here, page color. So you can choose any color. Don't go for too bright colors. So randomly, let's say I'm choosing this color. Okay. So this document is ready. Now, how do I convert this translate this document into another language? So there is an option over here. Go to menu bar. It's written tools. Go to tools. There is an option in tools, translate document. You click on translate document. It will ask you choose a language. So from here, you can choose a language, let's say Hindi, here translate. So on one click, this document will be translated in Hindi. You can see that. Okay. Now, we have created the document. Let's go to where we started with this document. Okay. We started within the classroom, if you remember, and this is the document we have created. Don't worry about the name. Automatically it will take name. Once you exit and come back to this classroom, it will take the name. So don't worry about the name. Now here there is a menu bar. Here there is a menu bar. As I click on this menu bar, there are three options. First option, students can view the file. As I click on this, there are three options. First is student can view the file. In this option, if you only want them to view the file and they will not be able to make any changes, they will not be even able to write the answers in the document. So this is only when you don't want them to, when you have just created a study material, you have hyperlinked various web pages, you want them to just go through them. Then use the option students can view the file. Students can edit file. This option can be helpful when you want them to work together on a project, when you want them to fill it collectively. This is basically for the collaboration. When you want them to collaborate, I'll just give you an example, like you want to assign 5 to 10 students in a class a project. Create a document on volcano. What is volcano? Which all places it frequently happens? Research about it and create a presentation. So they will customize the document. They will create a document, build it together. So in that case, you will go to all students option. On the right side, you will untag all students and only click on those students whom you want to assign this project. So here, and they will receive the exact same document. They will receive the exact same document, and you can, and one very, very important thing here I would like to tell you, when you go to document, suppose they are building it together, you have assigned it to 5 students, okay? There is an option in the file menu, top left. It's a wonderful option, beautiful option of version history. See version history. Now, this version history is helpful for those teachers who would like to know which all students have worked on this project, what is their contribution, what time they worked, everything is there in this version history. And suppose you regret deleting any paragraph or something, you can even restore that older version from here. So this version history is very helpful for teachers. Now this option, student can edit the file. So in my case, the worksheet which I have created, I want them to fill that worksheet individually. So I am going to go with the option, make a copy for each student, because I want them to go through the web pages, work on it, read all the web pages, go through the videos and fill that worksheet individually. That's what I want. So I'm going to go with make a copy for each student. Give it a title, worksheet 1, and you can give points, due dates, topics that we all know, and let us assign this project to the students. So the project has been assigned. I'm going to take you to the student's classroom. Now this is the student's classroom and the student will open the class. Here It's written in the stream page, Nidhi Bhagra posted a new assignment, worksheet 1. The student will open the assignment. Now, look at the right side. It's written Ayan worksheet. It has taken the name of that student because I created a copy for each student. So that's why it has already given. Now, as I click on that, the document appears. It's written Ayan worksheet. So the name of the student is there. The child will open the worksheet, very quickly write the answers. Let's say 6, number of zeros, noun, meal, spaghetti. Let's say child forgets to write down sauce in the answers. I'll tell you how to correct that also. Identify the type of cell. Now child will go through all the web pages before answering. We'll go through, like, identify the type of cell. Child will open it. The linked page is there. It will show the link. The child will go through that information and then write the answer, neurons. Then next question, open this link and find out. So child will open the link, go to Google Earth website. Automatically it will take him to Google, him or her to Google website. Google Earth website will look at the this entire presentation on the Google Earth and come back to the document and write down the answer, Eiffel Tower. Then watch this video. The child will open on the link, YouTube link, watch the entire video, go back to the document, and will write the entire description over here. Okay, it's done. Child will go back to the classroom. The document is done. We'll press hand. Someone's mic is on. I request all of you to please mute yourself. Somebody's mic is on. Thank you. So here it says hand in. So the student is going to hand in the worksheet. It's done. I'm going to take you to the teacher's classroom. This is the class. This is the assignment I had posted here. I see one child has turned in the assignment. I'll open that assignment. Ayan has turned in. So as I open it over here, 1 second. Yes. So as I open the assignment, you can even open through the mobile phone and check with the stylus with a tick mark, like we check answer sheets. You can do that way also. Or if you are checking through a laptop, then let's say here I want to correct that sauce is not written here. So you can select this part. As you select, a plus icon appears. It says add comment. So I'll just add comment over here. Sauce is also a noun. And comment. So comments are just like sticky notes. When the child will open, you'll be able to see whatever corrections you have written over here. So this is correct, and the teacher will go through the entire document, will give a grade, let's say 90 out of 100. Private comments. Now you can add private comments. I want to tell you a wonderful thing over here. Just look at this icon, comment bank. On the right side, comment bank. As I click on this comment bank, I can, add some comments to my bank. Let's say I have already added, if you look here, well done and excellent, I've already added. So I want to add more comments to it. Good job. This comment has been added to my bank. Add to bank again. Very good. So whatever comment you want to add, you can add this to comment bank. Next time when you want to give private comments, you can go to your comment bank and just copy from here. If you want to type well done, just copy well done from here. So it's copied. Go back to this private comments and paste it. So even if when you are checking your holiday homework assignments and all in the classroom, you can just create a comment bank from here. And it will be easy for you every time. You don't have to write private comments, seen or very good, do it again. So you can just, some comments you can already add to the comment bank and it will be very helpful. So I've added 4 comments. So I can anytime come to my comment bank, copy and just paste it. Yes, so it's done. The teacher has graded, private comments are done. Now the teacher is going to return the assignment to the student. One thing here I would like to tell you is that suppose you have created a document days before or hours before assigning the project, right? Now, in that case, what we are going to do is, suppose I'll just take you to classroom. 1 second. Yes, suppose you have created the assignment, before you want to assign them days before or hours before. In that case, let's say you started creating the assignment from here, docs. Okay, you have not started within the classroom, you have started it directly from docs. This is the document which you have created. You have created the entire document over here. I'm just randomly giving it a name. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I want to share this document with my colleagues, with my students. Now, how do I share with my students? If I've created, I've not created it inside the classroom, I've created directly from the Google App Grid. There is an icon on the right side over here, share. There is an icon over here, share. As I click on the share, a dialog box appears and it says add email ID. So I can add email IDs from here, and you can add multiple email IDs. Just press enter and keep on adding email IDs. Next will be the short message. You want to tell everyone what this document is all about. So this will be the description. This is a short description. Now, this is something very important. Please look here, right side. What controls you want to give them? You want to make them the viewer of the document. They will only be able to view the document. They will not be able to make any changes, write anything in the document. Commenter, they will view and only able to leave comments, but they will not be able to edit and write in the document. So in this case, I want to make them the editor of the document, and I will send from here. I'm going to send from here. Now, the question is, if you wanted to send it to the entire class, a group, how do we do that? Method is same. Go to share, right side. The same dialog box appears. Here, go to the option get link. Just go to the option get link. So as I click on this get link, there are 3 options over here. Restricted. Only those people whom you have mailed personally will be able to access this document. So that option is restricted. Send Francis details. All those who are in the school domain will be able to access the document. Anyone with the link, anyone on the internet with this link can view. So I'm just for the convenience, I'm choosing anyone with the link. Again, what controls you want to give them? You want them to be viewer of the document, commenter, or editor. If I want my students to write in the document, I will make them editor. And now look here, copy link. Can you see this option on the screen? Copy link, copy from here. So link copied, go to the classroom, whichever classroom you want to attach this file, go to classwork, go to create option, assignment. Here I have copied the link of that Google Doc, right? So I'm going to click on the option add and link. I have a link right now. So I'm going to paste that link here, add link. So the link is added. Students can view, edit, or make a copy. If you want them to work individually, make a copy for each student. Give it a title, assign, same way. So this is all about Google Docs, hyperlinking, HyperDocs, and someone rightly said, technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. Use of online tools has great benefits. Not only it enables teachers to skillfully manage and conduct the class, but also the worksheets, docs can be saved for future reference. Automatically, these docs will be saved in your Google Drive. Such a document is called a HyperDoc, in which you have hyperlinked other Google apps, web pages, YouTube videos. You can also hyperlink even an entire PPT or a slide presentation. You can link that first go through the PPT and then give answers. Or you can even attach a Google form. After your entire document is done, open this Google form and attempt the test. Hyperlink it with a Google form. This type of document is used to create teaching material, worksheets, multiple assessments, subject enrichment activities, class tests, etc. And the list is endless. Kindly explore Google Earth website. With Google Earth and mapping tools, you can learn about diversity across biomes and cities, measure how a river has changed shape over time, or create a project highlighting architectural styles across the ages. Using Google Earth and maps in classrooms can help visualize abstract concepts across a global canvas, allowing students to connect what they learn inside to what they experience in their daily lives, community, and to a larger world. For classrooms of the 21st century, Google Earth presents great opportunity to adapt traditionally abstract lessons, make subjects come alive, and encourage students to think and solve problems. Set the scene for lessons, not just geography, but anything from history, astronomy to literature, and even maths and science. Take them to virtual tours with Google Earth. I hope you have learned something fruitful today. I highly recommend you all to practice these tools. Only if you practice, you'll be able to master them. You will have to be open to trying new things, taking risks, and making mistakes. Successfully integrating technology and creating a truly innovative 21st century classroom will require dedication, hard work, an open mind, and willingness to step outside of our comfort zone and make mistakes, often in front of the students also. I will be sharing the video recording in WhatsApp so you can review how to make a HyperDoc. In the next session, we shall be discussing some more Google tools and how to apply them in a practical setting. I request all of you to kindly fill the attendance and the feedback form, and please give your suggestions and valuable inputs. I'm posting the link in the chat box right now. So thank you all. If you have any questions, you may ask. Thank you for the wonderful feedback. I can see in the chat box. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Nidhi ma'am, for giving us this wonderful training and learning session on Google Docs and especially hyperlinking. I'm sure we all will be benefiting with the help of this series of webinars we are going to have, and we'll be able to apply practically this learning in our Google classrooms. We are all eagerly looking forward to the training sessions, that is module 2, 3, 4 as well. So Nidhi ma'am, we appreciate all your efforts, and thank you so much for all this valuable sharing which you have given us. And all this while we used to look at all this, but those secretive right hand corners and left hand corners, we were actually not aware of those and how to reach. You've introduced us to those beautiful websites, so I'm sure all of us are going to practice and reach and sort of master on with a lot of practice on our Google Docs, and especially the hyperlinking part. So thank you, Nidhi ma'am. I request all the teachers to please fill up the feedback and your attendance. And we will most probably be having another session on 4th of June, but final date will be sent on the official site. So please keep looking at for the next date. And anything anybody else wants to share, the platform is all open for you. Anybody?
Good afternoon, Monica ma'am. Ma'am, we have to fill school mail ID in this form or a CBSE one?
Ma'am, school mail ID is better, so you'll get your certificates on the school mail ID only.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you,
Nidhi
Nidhi
ma'am,
ma'am. Thank you.
Yes,
And
yes,
one more
Priyanka, ma'am.
clarification. One more
I mean,
clarification here.
thank you so much. It was very informative. Just one question I wanted to ask, that
Yes,
if
ma'am.
in case we are making the student editor, so in that case, can they edit the question that we have given there, or
No,
only
ma'am.
the answer part they'll be?
Ma'am, the original document will be there in your drive that nobody can change. So if child changes the question, you will come to know in the classroom itself when you will open the document, when child will hand in. So that document, you will come to know that the child has fiddled with the question, because the original document will be saved in your drive that nobody can, change.
But I mean, when I am posting a particular document, I am making a separate copy for each student,
Yes,
right, Nidhi
yes,
ma'am? So in
yes.
that case, if in case any child is doing any sort of change, I mean, can they do the changes in the questions? They can do.
No, ma'am. They actually, when you upload an assignment, they are not able to do it. And one more thing, suppose they hand in once. When they open it again, they will not be able to make changes. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Once they hand
Right.
in, also, suppose there are some students who again go back to the document and try to change the answers, not possible. I have tried this myself. You can also just practice and try, and it won't happen. And for that, I am very, very sure about it.
Right, right. Thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am.
Nidhi ma'am, this is Soumya this side. I also had a query. Actually, I was trying Google Earth,
Yes.
but whenever I click